What is up, everybody? It is Wick here, and we've got some Halloween stuff to look at. Perfect setting. There's a thunderstorm happening outside. It's windy. It's spooky. So let's look at some of this stuff that you can look for at thrift stores and yard sales. Halloween stuff you can look for to sell and make some money. Some of this stuff is literal treasure. It's gold. You can find it in someone's basement, the attic, at an estate sale, on a shelf at a thrift store, and a lot of it's better than gold, diamonds, jewelry. A lot of people look for that kind of stuff, but you know, if you're looking for this stuff, you're also going to do very well. So just sit back, relax, and let's have some fun and look at some of this Halloween stuff that's selling on eBay. First item I have here is this 1950s cat devil horns, orange and black satin body. Just like a little like stuffed animal type thing, right? You could find this in the children's plush at Goodwill. Just take note of what this kind of stuff looks like. The vintage Halloween stuff, a lot of it is just hot. People are looking for it. They want the old stuff. It's more spooky. You can see this has the box with it. Just awesome. I would love to find something like this. I have very bad luck finding Halloween stuff. I found a few vintage items. One of them I have in this video, but I don't find a lot. And you can hear the thunder. Actually, I don't know if you can hear the thunder or not outside, but it's setting the mood here. But this sold with 12 bids for $710, so that's pretty amazing. Here's an item that sold for $721.11 with 12 bids. Vintage antique Halloween celluloid witch, the Weeble Wobble figurine. Again, this is something that could be sitting on a Goodwill shelf. I'm going to be saying that a lot. At a yard sale anywhere. It doesn't even really look that much like a witch, but some of these celluloid items, Halloween stuff, is definitely worth keeping an eye out for. Again, $721, it's pretty crazy. I thought this was awesome as well. 1964 Weird Monsters. Just these little plastic cheap toys. 59 cents, originally unbreakable, it says. I don't know if the brand has something to do with the price or what. But yeah, $717, pretty awesome to find anything vintage like that. I think because it's Halloween, it's just gonna do better price-wise. If it was like Army Men, I doubt it would. Here's another vintage Halloween figurine type thing, a Rosbro cat. Just a simple looking toy, right? Looks like it holds a sucker. $615 for 20 bids. I don't know, some of these makers, you know, I'm not familiar with. Maybe a lot of you recognize the name. I've never heard of Rosbro, so I'm not sure. I'm sure it has something to do with the name, and again, with it being Halloween. Here's a vintage Kiss costume and mask with hair. A lot of these I noticed were selling $585. That's a lot. That seems to be about the price most of them were going for. Yeah, just this has even been opened. It's a very cheap thing, right? I don't know. Kiss is pretty collectible, so maybe people are buying it for that reason. I don't know if anyone would ever wear this to a Halloween party or not. It'd probably be worth just keeping in the box and collecting, which is what a lot of people do with this stuff. Now here's something I've sold. I sold this last Halloween. I sold it for $100 plus shipping. If you try to sell this outside of Halloween, you only get about 50, 60 bucks for it. Hold this stuff, sell it right before Halloween. That's when you're going to get the best prices. People want this stuff, you know, for the Halloween parties. Since I sold mine for $100 plus shipping, I paid $5 for it at a yard sale. It's the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. If you remember that show, I kind of wish I still had mine. You know, I could put it out this Halloween, maybe have a Halloween party this year. But you know what? I'm happy to sell it and make that profit as well. Blow molds, vintage blow molds, Christmas and Halloween. Don Featherstone is also a good name to look out for when it comes to blow molds. Whoa, that's a loud one. I jumped. I'm not gonna lie, it's on tape, even though this isn't a tape. This is a 1990s Union blow mold, two witches, sold for $404, two bids. You can see they're pretty cool looking. Pumpkin blow molds, any kind of blow molds, Halloween, vintage, are gonna do well. You can see the name on the bottom here. If you was to, you know, see a blow mold like this in the wild, pick it up. You could pay $100 for them. It'd still be worth it to pick them up. You can see these aren't even in, you know, perfect condition. So very awesome to see stuff like this, even though I never see it, like I said. I'm so unlucky when it comes to blow molds and stuff like that. Here's another one, just some Ghost and Dracula, sold for $350. Yeah, very cool, vintage looking. Got some loud thunder out there. Funny thing is, it was getting dark. I just checked and it wasn't supposed to rain. Yeah, so I don't know. Can't trust the weather. So I thought this was incredible. This kind of took me back to my childhood, even just seeing those cheap like G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtle costumes that you would see at like Big Lots or Kmart or somewhere like that. This is Cobra Commander, G.I. Joe Halloween costume. Definitely used, but look at that, $362. We all know a lot of G.I. Joe vintage stuff is gold. It always sells. I can even like smell the plastic looking at this because I know I had some sort of costume like this when I was a kid. It just, even as a kid, it felt cheap to wear. I'm surprised this is in such good condition because I felt like I remember something about being a kid and putting one of these on and it like already tore like right after I got it. I can't even remember what character it was or anything. But yeah, I would happily buy this at a yard sale if I saw it. Honestly, before I saw this, even if I saw it at a garage sale, I wouldn't expect it to be worth, $362. This is the kind of thing, even if you're finding the mask and nothing else, you could still make some money on it. Here is a vintage owl paper mache Halloween figure, statue. A lot of the old vintage paper mache stuff, especially stuff you get in like the 30s and 40s, worth a lot of money. That stuff doesn't survive though. It's very easily damaged. You can see this is just a simple owl. Now here's the thing with the owl. This is not necessarily Halloween. This is someone using a keyword Halloween, because why not throw Halloween as a keyword in there? Because someone might want that. But you can find paper mache ghosts, pumpkins, witches, all that kind of stuff. Vintage is worth money. Here's another thing that someone used the keyword Halloween. It's just a vintage embalming machine. And I thought this was really awesome to, see the benefit of putting Halloween as a keyword, because if you're going for that spooky look in your house or for your Halloween party, having a vintage embalming machine, I don't know, that's kind of next level thinking, right? And I'm sure this would sell even without the Halloween keyword in there. But I just wanted to show it and make sure everyone understands that, if you can use Halloween for something that makes sense, use it. Rare t-shirts. Here's an Elvira Spooky Halloween shirt XL, sold for $287.99. So vintage t-shirts, especially like Halloween, like a Halloween movie promo shirt might be, $400 or $500. There are people extremely into Halloween, extremely into the vintage look. And of course, there's people who just collect vintage t-shirts, so you cannot lose finding this stuff. Sold by Treasure Valley Pickers. I find it interesting sometimes when I do these videos where I show things that sold, people see their own sales. Like people like watching the video says, oh, that was mine, or this one was mine, it was on the video. It's happened a few times, so that's kind of cool, I guess. A lot of people watching the videos, a lot of resellers out there. Here is a Zelda 2 Nintendo Halloween decoration, $293. It's got some damage on there, but of course, anything Nintendo mixed with Halloween is going to be great. I just thought this was pretty cool to see, being a Nintendo collector myself. So these Danbury Mint stuff can go for a good money. Boyd's Bear stuff, some of it can be okay. I kind of quit paying attention to Boyd's Bears because everything I was investigating just wasn't turning out to really be worth picking up. Stuff I'd see at Goodwill, it'd always be people donating their whole Boyd's Bear collection. And I start looking up the figurines and I'm like, no one's really buying these pre-owned. Every now and then you find one that was worth picking up. But here's some Halloween ones that are. Probably because they're Danbury Mint as well. $193, some sold for $245. It's just a little Halloween party light up display piece. So very cool. You see this stuff all the time. I'm going to mention it again at Goodwill and thrift stores. And if you see anything that's Halloween themed, especially, or even Christmas themed, Easter's not that big, but maybe you could still look it up. Go ahead and do a search for it. Even if you don't know how to search for something like this, just type in Boyd's Bears Halloween, since it's Halloween themed, and just start looking for a match. It doesn't take that long, and you could end up picking up an item like this that's worth hundreds of dollars. Halloween masks can be big money, especially if they're Don Post Studios. Don Post masks are very sought after. The vintage ones, some of them are go into the thousands. Here is a Frankenstein one with 14 bids, $209.50. It looks kind of basic. I believe this is probably one of his more basic ones. And honestly, I don't know anything about Don post. I'm assuming he's an artist that creates these masks. I just know the name from reselling over the years, so maybe I should have done a history lesson. Looked it up online. I'm sure many of you know. But here are some more of his masks. The Pumpkinhead 3. This one sold for over $3,000. 80s Dracula Mask. You got Michael Myers. What else we got? More Michael Myers. A very well done mask, $828. So you can see this stuff people want, people are looking for. I don't know how hard it is to get these. It's a shame, like Goodwills now, they just wholesale all of their Halloween stuff, most of it. A lot of their Halloween stuff, they just take off the shelf and they put all this wholesale stuff. It's just cheap generic mask. It's hard to find some of the old masks anymore. They go through and they just hand pick out a bunch of clothing. It's like, oh, this plaid shirt looks like it's Halloween, so let's mark it up. They put an orange sticker on it, which means it's Halloween. You can't return it. They don't want people buying Halloween stuff and returning it, after Halloween's over, I guess. So you got to resort to estate sales, garage sales, thrift stores that aren't Goodwill to kind of find these better masks now. I'm going to try to put this video out a little bit before Halloween so you can get to the thrift stores and kind of look for some of this stuff yourself. You still have some time before Halloween and they pack it all away and get rid of it. You have Wolfman mask, Ed Big Daddy Roth Ratfink, pretty cool, $475. Alien. You can just see there's just so many different masks. Anytime you see a Halloween mask that looks like it's better than cheap wholesale, do not sleep on it. And of course, talking about mask, I have to mention the Scream mask. I learned about these Scream masks just a few months ago, how valuable they were. These are some of the vintage original mask. You found one when you can look at on the back, have Fun World stamped in it. You can see this white version sold for $2,800. You got some of them over $1,000. And best offers here, this one with 19 bids. I like to see the ones with bids because it's more of a confirmed sale. Best offer, could be $5, right? Here's one that sold for one bid for $1,000. The 90s, of course, made popular by the Scream movie. Red ones, pink ones, stuff like that. I know someone mentioned in a video fairly recently. They said that I walked past a Scream mask and I should go look it up. I think they said a pink one. But the thing is, these have been remade so many times and I've kind of become desensitized. Places like I mentioned Goodwill with the wholesale mask, they got 50 masks all the time, Scream masks, because they're buying them from China and trying to sell them in their stores. I just kind of quit looking and paying attention to them. I need to focus a bit more because I don't want to pass up one of these. $850 for this pink one. You can see probably the more average realistic price is between $500 and $1,000 for just the basic white one. All of these are showing pre-owned, right? I don't even see any new ones. I wonder what it would be like to find a new one with tags. The one up here, was that new with tags? I'm wondering. No, pre-owned. You know how many people bought these originally in the 90s, and they're probably just sitting in a box with the rest of their Halloween stuff. I guarantee you someone watching this video right now has one of these, and they probably don't realize how much they're worth. Let me know in the comments if you have one. Horror slasher VHS. There's kind of a trend happening with VHS. A lot of the sealed stuff is showing up as being worth a lot of money. People are having them graded, put in plastic, sent off to grading companies, just like they do with baseball cards or magic cards or something like that. So a lot of these prices I do not trust, kind of like the Disney VHS tapes everyone thought was worth a fortune just because of listings like this. Some of these are faked. I'm not sure why they do it. Money laundering, I've heard. I've heard that collectors just want to drive the price up so they can off their stuff for a lot of money. And some of this, it might actually be becoming worth the actual prices shown here. But you can see this vintage sealed horror lot right here. You got Gremlins, The Shining, Creepshow, over $4,000. That's crazy to me. I don't trust that price. Sure, this lot would sell pretty well for some good money, but I don't think it would sell for that much. You got The Fly 2 unopened, $565. Again, I don't know. 101 VHS tapes, horror, cult, slasher, rare ones, $530. That makes sense. I believe that. Here's another one with 70. Here's a few. Some of these are very rare though, and horror collectors want them. The only way to watch these movies is through the VHS, so that's why people are paying up for them. Also, some of these VHS, it's the publishing company makes it more rare. First edition, stuff like that, kind of like books. I haven't put a lot of time in learning this stuff. I do, when I look through VHS, obviously I look for the Halloween stuff like this, and the horror stuff, and anything sealed at this point. I remember years ago I said in one of my videos, maybe it's worth just picking up every sealed VHS you find because, 10 years down the road, people may be wanting to collect them. Kind of wish I would have done that because, you can find them at yard sales for 50 cents or $1, thrift stores $1, all kinds of sealed VHS. But yeah, don't pay like $200 for a set like this. I'm thinking you're going to sell it for $400 or $500 because I wouldn't trust these prices. But, if you're picking up the Michael Myers and Jason VHS collection at a yard sale for $5, you're going to do all right. Here is another Halloween name I know, the Denizen. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if they just make Halloween stuff or what. Again, over the years, you pick up information as a reseller, and they make a lot of different Halloween stuff. You can see die-cut paper stuff, the witch. This one up here, be awesome to put in a kitchen, right? But for $750. Of course, that's sold with best offer, so we don't know exactly how much that sold for, but you can see some of this other stuff selling for a lot. I see this is 1920, so pretty old stuff here. Anything like from the 20s, 30s, or 40s Halloween vintage, you probably should pick up if you see it at a yard sale. Even just pieces of paper and stuff like that. Big market for this kind of stuff. You can just see all kinds of different items when you search Denizen. And the more I look at this stuff, the more I want to find it and actually collect it and put in my house. I have a problem. Anytime I see cool vintage items like vintage shirts, hats, I get the urge. I just want to go out and find it. And I want to find the coolest item possible. Of course, I want to find stuff that's worth money as well. But yeah, just the hunt to find that cool item is very addicting. I would assume this Halloween stuff is not going to go down in value over the years. So if you're buying this stuff and actually collecting it, in 20 years, I bet you're going to triple, maybe 5x your money at least. Good little hobby and investment, I suppose. Maybe even a good retirement. Might give better returns in your IRA, Never know. And then we got some Ouija boards, and I've sold vintage Ouija boards before from the 70s. I found one sealed once. I sold it for about $100, and someone from England bought it to put in their shop. I guess it was like a Halloween shop or a witch's shop or something like that. I don't know. I remember in the listing, I put the older they are, the more likely they are to work. But that's not guaranteed. But if you're looking for the boards, again, you're looking for that old stuff from the 30s, William Fold board, some of the original ones, the Sphinx, another William, Kennard here, got $800 on that one. People want these things, and they want them to be old, they want them to be mystical looking. Even the ones from the 90s, they do pretty well. I've sold them from the 90s. I got one in there right now I'm going to sell on Amazon from the 90s. I think it's Milton Bradley or Parker Brothers version. I think it sells for about $40 on Amazon. So yeah, even for just like my reselling income, it's good to pick up some of these, even the newer ones. But you can see there's all kinds of them. And again, it's just something people have sitting in closets, and eventually they're going to get rid of them at yard sales or estate sales. You can just keep scanning. I have them sorted by highest value to lowest value, so you can just kind of see there. Here's one from the 60s. I've never seen this box before. From Australia, so maybe that's why. Maybe not over here in the States, but yeah. But there it is, everybody. There's some Halloween stuff you can look for. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was entertaining for you. And of course, I hope you have an amazing Halloween. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button for me on your way out. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at flipping_junk. And this has been Wick. Till next time.